Life often confronts us with unexpected challenges, personal losses, global crises, or internal struggles that test our resilience and character. In these moments, it's natural to feel overwhelmed, searching for guidance to navigate the turmoil. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy originating in Greece and refined in Rome, offers timeless wisdom for such times. Rather than promising to eliminate hardship, Stoicism provides tools to endure adversity with grace and strength. Central to Stoic thought is the distinction between what we can control and what we cannot. Our actions, judgments, and responses lie within our power. External events, the opinions of others, and the twists of fate are beyond our control. By focusing on our own behavior and mindset, we can maintain inner peace, even amidst chaos. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of virtue, living with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Facing adversity becomes an opportunity for growth as challenges test and strengthen our character. In this video, we'll explore how Stoic principles can guide us through difficult times. We'll delve into the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, uncovering wisdom that remains profoundly relevant today. From embracing our fate to practicing mindfulness, from building resilience to fostering compassion, Stoicism offers a roadmap to not just survive, but to thrive amidst adversity. So if you're feeling lost, overwhelmed, or uncertain, know that you're not alone. Join us as we journey through the Stoic path, discovering how ancient wisdom can illuminate our way forward in today's complex world. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that originated in Athens around 300 BCE, founded by Zeno of Citium. The name Stoicism derives from the Stoa Poikile, or painted porch, where Zeno and his followers gathered to discuss philosophical ideas. Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. At its core, Stoicism teaches that the path to a good life lies in cultivating virtue and aligning one's will with nature. The Stoics believed that by practicing the four cardinal virtues, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, individuals could achieve eudaimonia, a state of flourishing or well-being. Wikipedia. A central tenet of Stoicism is the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. Our thoughts, actions, and responses are within our control, while external events, other people's opinions and outcomes, are not. By focusing on our own behavior and accepting external circumstances, we can attain inner peace and resilience. Orion philosophy. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of rationality and self-control in overcoming destructive emotions. They believed that negative emotions stem from errors in judgment, and that by cultivating a clear and unbiased mind, one could maintain tranquility. Wikipedia. Prominent Stoic philosophers include Epictetus, a former slave who taught that freedom comes from within. Seneca, a Roman statesman who wrote extensively on ethics and practical advice. And Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor whose meditations reflect his commitment to Stoic principles. Stoicism teaches that adversity is an opportunity for growth. By embracing challenges and viewing them as chances to practice virtue, individuals can strengthen their character and find meaning in hardship. In today's fast-paced and often unpredictable world, Stoicism offers timeless guidance. By focusing on what we can control, practicing virtue and maintaining rationality, we can navigate Elmagene carrying a heavy backpack loaded with burdens that aren't even yours. Worries about the future, regrets about the past, what someone said, what someone might say. This is what most of us do every day, drag invisible weight through life. But what if we could let go of everything that isn't ours to carry? This is the essence of one of Stoicism's most powerful ideas, the dichotomy of control. The Stoics taught that life is divided into two categories: things we can control and things we cannot. And the key to peace, resilience, and inner strength is learning to focus entirely on what we can control. We can't control the weather, we can't control traffic, we can't control other people's actions, feelings, or opinions, but we can control how we respond. We can control our mindset, our attitude, our choices, and our values. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic minds, said it simply: "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." It seems obvious, but look closely at your own stress. How? Much of it comes from trying to change what's outside your power. You didn't get the job. Your relationship didn't work out. Your plans fell through. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it's real. But Stoicism doesn't ask you to be emotionless. It teaches you to see clearly, to acknowledge reality, then respond wisely. You see, when you try to control the uncontrollable, you suffer. But when you shift your focus to what you can control, you become powerful. Not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger. And it's not just about surviving pain, it's about shaping who you are in the process. You didn't choose the storm, but you can choose who you become in it. You didn't choose the chaos, but you can choose calm. You didn't choose the heartbreak, but you can choose to love again, wiser, deeper, stronger. This mindset doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care smarter. You stop wasting energy on the wind and start focusing on your sails. That's what Stoics did, not because they were born strong, but because they practiced it day by day, choice by choice. Ask yourself today, what's really within my control? And am I actually focusing on it? Your thoughts, your effort, your response. That's where your power lives. Let the rest go, because when you master this simple shift, this Stoic lens, you don't just survive life's storms. You steer through them with calm, clarity, and a quiet kind of strength that no one can take from you. And that changes everything. It's challenges with grace and resilience. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. The job you love? Gone. The person you care about? No longer in your life. The comfort you enjoy daily? Taken from you in an instant. Sounds dark, right? But to the Stoics, this wasn't being pessimistic. It was preparation. It was strength. It was freedom. This practice is called negative visualization, one of the most powerful mental tools taught by ancient Stoics like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. At its core, it means imagining the worst-case scenario before it happens. Not to live in fear, but to be ready. Because when we pretend we're invincible, life hits harder. But when we've rehearsed hardship in our minds, we're no longer fragile. We're forged. Seneca once said, "He robs present ills of their power, who has perceived their coming beforehand." Here's the truth. Life will test you. Loss, failure, pain. They're not if, they're when. And when they arrive, people panic because they never prepared for them. They believed comfort was permanent, that people would stay, that success was guaranteed, but Stoics thought differently. They didn't run from uncomfortable thoughts. They sat with them, visualized them, got familiar with them, and as a result, they feared less. Negative visualization trains your mind for impact. It's like armor, thin but unbreakable, because when you've already considered the worst, you stop being controlled by the fear of it. It's not about living in doom, it's about being grateful now because you've imagined life without it. The next time you drink water, imagine not having it. The next time you hold someone's hand, imagine losing them. The next time you complain about a long day, imagine having no days left. This shifts your perspective fast. What once felt like a burden becomes a blessing. And what once scared you starts to lose its grip. You won't take things for granted. You won't be shaken by every twist in life. You'll be steady, solid, like a tree with roots deep in the earth. The Stoics weren't emotionless. They were emotionally prepared. They knew joy becomes richer when you've tasted the thought of its absence. They knew love becomes more precious when you accept it's not forever. They knew peace comes not from avoiding pain, but from facing it before it arrives. So the next time you feel anxious, pause and ask, what's the worst that could happen? Face it, imagine it, prepare for it. And when life doesn't hit that hard, you'll be stronger, calmer, and far more thankful than before. That's the gift of negative visualization, not fear, but freedom. What if success wasn't about money? What if happiness wasn't about pleasure? What if the most powerful life you could live had nothing to do with what you have and everything to do with who you are? That's the Stoic view. And at the center of it all is one word: virtue. To the Stoics, virtue was the highest good. Not fame, not fortune, not comfort, just character. Virtue means living with integrity. It means aligning your actions with your values, even when no one's watching, even when it's hard, even when it costs you, because in the end, you are the one who lives with your choices. Marcus Aurelius ruled the most powerful empire on earth, but he didn't chase glory. He chased goodness. He wrote to himself, "Waste no more time arguing. What a good man should be one." Virtue isn't something you find, it's something you choose every single day, in the way you speak, in the way you treat people, in the way you handle pressure, conflict, failure, courage, justice, wisdom, discipline. These are the 4 core Stoic virtues. They aren't old-fashioned, they're timeless. And every moment of your life is a chance to embody them. When someone wrongs you, choose justice, not revenge. When fear creeps in, choose courage, not avoidance. When temptation whispers, choose discipline, not indulgence. When you don't know what to do, choose wisdom, not impulse. This is strength that can't be taken from you because power fades, looks fade, money fades. But virtue, it stays. It shapes your identity, builds your legacy. It gives you peace when you lay your head down at night, knowing you stayed true to yourself, no matter what the world threw at you. Living with integrity doesn't mean being perfect. It means trying. It means showing up honest, owning your flaws, making things right, choosing what's right over what's easy. And here's the beautiful part. When you live with virtue, you start to attract the life you actually want. Real respect, real connection, real peace. Not because you played the game better, but because you refused to play the wrong game. So ask yourself, not what do I want, but who do I want to be? Because when you focus on being good, rather than looking good, everything starts to change. You become unshakable, unstoppable, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger from the inside out. That's what Stoicism teaches us, and that's what it means to live a powerful life, with virtue as your compass. It's easy to get caught up in the rush of life, chasing goals, battling stress, worrying about the future. We spend so much time planning, thinking, and analyzing that we forget one of the simplest yet most profound truths. The present moment is all we truly have. The Stoics understood this better than most. They didn't ignore the past, nor did they obsess over the future. Instead, they focused on what was right in front of them. They embraced the present moment with full awareness, because that's where true power lies. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You are a little soul carrying around a corpse." In other words, our bodies are temporary, but our thoughts, our awareness, and our actions are what truly define us. So, how do we live fully in the moment? How do we focus on what we can control right now? It begins with mindfulness. Mindfulness isn't just a buzzword or a trend. It's the practice of bringing your attention back to the present, of observing what's happening right now without judgment. It's about awareness, not of the past or the future, but of what you're experiencing right now. In this very moment, this doesn't mean ignoring your feelings or pushing away difficult thoughts. Instead, it means acknowledging them, letting them be, and choosing how to respond. Think of it like this: life is a river. The past is a waterfall behind you, always moving away. The future is the current ahead, unpredictable and uncertain. The only solid ground you stand on is the present moment, the space between what's gone and what's yet to come. The Stoics practice this daily, taking moments to pause, breathe, and refocus on what was immediately in front of them. They knew the only way to truly live was to embrace the present, not to wish away the present moment for some future satisfaction. And here's the magic. When you focus on the present, you become less attached to external outcomes. You stop worrying about things you can't control. You start to appreciate the little things, the feeling of sunlight on your skin, the sound of birds singing, the warmth of a friend's smile. In doing so, you cultivate contentment right here, right now. Mindfulness is also a key to emotional control. When you're present, you're less likely to be swept away by your emotions. Instead of reacting impulsively to anger, fear, or stress, you pause, reflect, and respond with intention. You gain clarity, making decisions based on what's best for you, not just what's easiest. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. But the Stoics knew this. The more you focus on the present, the less power external noise has over you. In the stillness of the moment, you can find your strength, your peace, and your purpose. So the next time you find yourself overwhelmed, stop, take a breath, focus on your senses. Notice what's around you without judgment. Allow yourself to simply be. Let go of the worries about the future and the regrets about the past, because true freedom is found in the present. And when you master the art of mindfulness, life becomes more than just a series of tasks. It becomes a series of moments to experience, appreciate, and live fully. In life, we all chase things: success, approval, possessions, status. We believe that if we just achieve or acquire more, we'll finally feel fulfilled. But here's the harsh truth. External outcomes are unreliable. They're fleeting, they don't define you, and they certainly don't bring lasting peace. The Stoics understood this well. They taught that the key to lasting happiness wasn't in getting what we wanted, but in detaching from the need for those external outcomes to define us. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Think about it. No matter how much you plan, work, or struggle, there are some things you simply can't control. Other people's actions, the economy, the weather, the opinions of others. These things are external to you. And yet, we often allow them to dictate our emotions, our happiness, and our sense of worth. Stoicism teaches us that true peace comes when we accept that we can't control everything. The moment we stop attaching our happiness to external outcomes, we stop being at the mercy of circumstances. You become less reactive, more grounded, more free. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care without becoming dependent on the outcome. It means you do your best and leave the rest to fate. Consider your work. You can give it your all. Show up, put in the hours, strive for excellence. But the result? That's beyond your control. You may succeed, you may fail, and the world may never recognize your efforts. And that's okay. Because your value isn't tied to the outcome, it's tied to the effort, the integrity, and the character you display throughout the process. This detachment also applies to our relationships. We want love, connection, and approval from others. But when you become overly attached to someone's opinion of you, you risk losing your peace. Instead of seeking validation, focus on being a person of value, regardless of how others react. Imagine standing firm on a rock in the middle of a raging sea. The waves of fortune, criticism, or success crash against you, but you remain unshaken. This is the power of detachment. When you detach from outcomes, you also free yourself from fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of losing what you hold dear. When your happiness doesn't depend on things outside your control, you become less vulnerable. You stop fearing what might happen. You start living fully in the moment, free from the weight of expectation. Remember, it's not about being passive or indifferent to the world around you. It's about recognizing that while you can influence your life, you can't control everything. And once you let go of that need to control outcomes, you unlock a life of true peace and resilience. When you stop attaching your sense of self-worth to external circumstances, you finally find the freedom to be yourself, just as you are. Free from the need for validation, free from the fear of failure, and free to live life on your terms. Adversity. It's a word we all know too well. Life doesn't always go as planned, and challenges often arise when we least expect them. Whether it's a personal setback, a professional failure, or an unforeseen crisis, we're bound to face tough times. But here's the thing. Adversity isn't something to fear. In fact, it's one of the greatest teachers you'll ever have. The Stoics believed that hardship doesn't break us. It molds us, strengthens us, and builds resilience. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers and a man who ruled an empire, faced adversity every single day. Yet he wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." What does that mean? It means that obstacles are not roadblocks. They are opportunities to grow. Each challenge you face is an invitation to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. When we face adversity, our natural instinct might be to give up, retreat, or fall into despair. But resilience is about learning how to keep going, even when everything seems against you. It's about adjusting your mindset, finding meaning in struggle, and using hardship as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. Stoicism teaches that pain and suffering are not inherently bad. They're a part of life. But they don't have to define you. It's how you respond to hardship that matters. The Stoics understood that we cannot control the external events that happen to us, but we always have control over how we respond. Imagine you're climbing a mountain, and the path gets steeper and more difficult. You could turn back, or you could keep climbing. The mountain didn't get easier, but your strength and determination did. Every step, no matter how hard, brings you closer to the summit. Adversity works in the same way. The more challenges you face, the more resilient you become. Resilience is not about avoiding pain, it's about embracing it, understanding it, and allowing it to shape you. It's about facing each challenge with the knowledge that you are stronger than you realize. And with each victory, your confidence builds. Consider the obstacles you've faced in the past. Perhaps they seemed insurmountable at the time, but looking back, you can see how they helped you grow. You learned lessons, you developed new skills, you became more equipped to handle life's future challenges. Resilience also comes from accepting that life won't always be smooth. You will face hardships, you will encounter setbacks, but when you approach these challenges with a stoic mindset, you realize that they are temporary, they will pass, and in their wake, you'll be left stronger and more capable than before. Stoics would say that hardship is an inevitable part of the human experience, but instead of seeing it as something to avoid or fear, they saw it as an opportunity to test their character. Every time you rise to the occasion, every time you handle adversity with grace and poise, you build resilience. So next time life throws you a curveball, don't panic. Don't retreat. Embrace it. See it as an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The struggles you face today will shape the person you become tomorrow. And remember, resilience isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent, It's about showing up no matter how tough things get and continuing to move forward. Step by step, challenge by challenge, you'll emerge from adversity even stronger than before. At its core, Stoicism is about personal growth, but it's also deeply concerned with how we interact with others. Stoics understood that relationships, community, and compassion are essential parts of our lives, and they offer a powerful way to practice virtue and wisdom. In the ancient world, people weren't isolated the way many of us are today. They lived in close-knit communities where relationships were vital to their survival and happiness. The Stoics recognized that how we treat others is just as important as how we treat ourselves. They believed that living in harmony with others, with compassion and empathy, was one of the highest callings we could have. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoics, often reflected on his relationships with others. He wrote in Meditations, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, envious, and surly. They are like this because they cannot tell good from evil." At first glance, this might seem like a negative view of human nature. But Marcus wasn't condemning others. He was reminding himself to approach difficult people with patience and understanding. Stoicism teaches us not to let other people's behavior disturb our peace. Instead, we are encouraged to approach them with compassion and empathy, recognizing that their actions often come from ignorance or misunderstanding. The Stoics understood that we cannot control others, but we can control how we respond. In every relationship, whether with family, friends, or even strangers, our goal should be to act with virtue. That means showing kindness, patience, understanding, and humility, especially when dealing with difficult people. Compassion isn't about feeling sorry for someone. It's about recognizing their shared humanity and responding with kindness, no matter how they treat you. It's about acknowledging that everyone has their struggles, and sometimes the best thing you can do is offer a listening ear or a helping hand. Think about your own relationships. In your family, your friends, your workplace. Do you show up with compassion and empathy, or are you quick to judge or react to others' behavior? Stoicism teaches us that we should strive to be a positive force in the lives of others, not one that adds to the negativity or chaos. And while compassion is essential, so is the ability to set healthy boundaries. Stoics didn't believe in being a doormat. They recognized the importance of protecting your own well-being while still being there for others. You can be compassionate without sacrificing your own peace and dignity. In a world that often values individual success over collective well-being, Stoicism encourages us to remember the importance of community. We're all in this together, and by living according to virtue and acting with compassion, we can help each other grow. Every interaction, every relationship is an opportunity to practice Stoic principles and to contribute positively to the world around us. So as you go about your day, remember, treat others with kindness and respect, but also protect your own peace. Act with integrity and compassion, and you'll find that relationships become an avenue for growth and fulfillment, not stress and conflict. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy to think about, it's a way of life. It's about bringing the principles of Stoic thought into your daily routine, turning wisdom into action, and transforming how you approach each day. The great thing about Stoicism is that it's not just for philosophers or scholars, it's for anyone who wants to live a better, more meaningful life. The key to Stoicism is making its teachings part of your everyday habits. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes, and the more deeply it integrates into your character. Let's look at some simple yet powerful Stoic practices you can begin using today. Morning reflection. The Stoics believed in starting the day with intention. Marcus Aurelius, for example, would remind himself each morning of the challenges he might face. He would prepare himself mentally for the obstacles and people who might cause frustration or conflict. You can adopt a similar practice. When you wake up, take a few minutes to reflect on what lies ahead. Think about the challenges you may encounter and how you want to respond to them with stoic calm and rationality. Negative visualization. One of the most famous Stoic practices is negative visualization, which involves imagining worst-case scenarios, not to dwell in fear, but to prepare yourself mentally for them. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." By visualizing hardships, you realize that most fears are overblown and that you're more capable of handling adversity than you think. Try to picture a difficult situation that could happen in your day and think about how you would cope with it if it did occur. 3. Practice. Gratitude is a key component of Stoic practice. Even in the face of challenges, the Stoics emphasize the importance of being grateful for what you have, rather than focusing on what you lack. Every day, take a moment to reflect on things you're grateful for: your health, your relationships, your opportunities. Practicing gratitude helps shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance, helping you feel more content and fulfilled in the present moment. Evening reflection. Another Stoic practice is reflecting on your day before going to bed. Marcus Aurelius would review his actions, asking himself where he had succeeded and where he could improve. This practice helps you evaluate your behavior and make adjustments for the future. At the end of your day, take a few minutes to reflect on your actions. Did you respond to challenges with wisdom? Did you act with virtue? What can you do differently tomorrow? Focus on what you can control. Stoicism teaches that we should focus only on what's within our control and let go of what's outside of it. Many of our daily struggles come from trying to control things we can't: other people's actions, the future, external circumstances. A daily practice of reminding yourself of the dichotomy of control can help reduce stress and anxiety. Keep the focus on your thoughts, actions, and responses. These are the things you can control. Practice mindfulness and presence. Stoics believe that the present moment is the only one we truly have. Instead of worrying about the past or stressing about the future, Stoicism encourages you to focus fully on the present. Mindfulness, or being fully aware of what you're doing right now, is a practice that can help you live more like a Stoic. Whether you're working, eating, or interacting with others, practice being fully present in each moment. This brings clarity and calm to your life, no matter the external circumstances. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy, but its teachings are incredibly relevant in today's fast-paced, stress-filled world. The modern world might seem far removed from the Roman Empire, but the challenges we face, stress, uncertainty, and overwhelming emotions, are timeless. Stoicism offers practical tools to navigate these modern obstacles, making it more valuable than ever. In today's world, many of us are overwhelmed by constant demands, work pressures, personal expectations, social media comparisons, and the fear of missing out. It's easy to get lost in the chaos of it all. But Stoicism reminds us that we can take control of how we respond to external pressures and how we define our own happiness. 1. Handling stress and anxiety. In an age of constant connectivity and work demands, stress and anxiety are at an all-time high. Stoicism teaches us that stress is often a result of focusing on things outside of our control. When you're overwhelmed, ask yourself, what can I control here? What can I let go of? By focusing on what's within your power, your thoughts, your actions, your attitude, you can alleviate much of the burden that comes from trying to control everything around you. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." In modern terms, this means that much of the anxiety we experience is due to overthinking or worrying about things that haven't even happened yet. By practicing negative visualization, we prepare ourselves for potential outcomes without allowing fear or anxiety to take over. This allows us to take action calmly and decisively when challenges arise. Managing disappointment and failure. In a world that values success and achievement, failure can feel like a crushing blow. But Stoicism teaches that failure is not something to fear, it's an opportunity for growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This perspective helps us see obstacles as opportunities to build resilience and character. When facing failure, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this experience? Instead of letting failure define you, use it as a stepping stone to become better. Stoicism allows you to reframe your failures and turn them into sources of wisdom. Finding meaning in a consumer-centered world, today's consumer culture can often make us feel empty or dissatisfied. We're told that happiness is found in acquiring more, whether it's products, experiences, or social validation. But Stoicism offers a different approach. It teaches that happiness doesn't come from external possessions or status. It comes from internal virtues like wisdom, courage, and self-discipline. By embracing simplicity and focusing on what truly matters, our relationships, our health, our peace of mind, we can find a deeper sense of contentment. The Stoic emphasis on minimalism isn't just about material possessions. It's about reducing distractions and focusing on what truly brings fulfillment. Embracing difficult times, modern life isn't without its hardships. Whether it's economic struggles, personal challenges, or global issues, it can often feel like the world is stacked against us. However, Stoicism offers us the mindset to approach difficult times with grace and resilience. The Stoic approach to adversity is simple: accept it, learn from it, and grow stronger. Instead of resisting hardship, embrace it as an opportunity to practice virtue. The Stoics remind us that our response to challenges is what defines us. The ability to remain composed, thoughtful, and courageous in the face of adversity is what will carry us through difficult times. Building stronger relationships. Finally, Stoicism teaches us to approach relationships with empathy, understanding, and humility. It reminds us that we cannot control others' behavior, but we can control how we respond. By practicing patience, compassion, and active listening, we can cultivate deeper, more meaningful connections with others. In an era where relationships are often strained by digital distractions, Stoicism provides a timeless reminder of the importance of human connection. Building strong relationships is not about seeking validation or avoiding conflict. It's about acting with integrity and kindness in every interaction. As we come to the end of our journey into Stoic philosophy, it's clear that the teachings of Stoicism aren't just theoretical. They offer a practical and powerful approach to living a meaningful life, even in the face of modern challenges. By embracing the Stoic path, you equip yourself with the tools needed to navigate life's ups and downs with grace, resilience, and wisdom. Stoicism invites us to see every challenge as an opportunity for growth. It teaches us that our happiness and fulfillment don't depend on external circumstances, but on how we choose to respond to them. The Stoics understood that life is unpredictable, and they didn't waste time wishing for it to be otherwise. Instead, they accepted life as it is, with all its imperfections, and focused on cultivating the virtues that matter most. Taking action with Stoic principles. The true power of Stoicism lies not in intellectual understanding, but in action. It's one thing to know the principles of Stoic philosophy, but it's another to live them every day. Whether it's embracing the dichotomy of control, practicing mindfulness, or reframing adversity as an opportunity for growth, Stoicism is about transforming your mindset and your actions.